Hey there guys, Aldershot here. We're going to do a build video today. We're going to do one for Frost. Now I actually did a build video for Ash about a month ago. I call it the Stunlock Ninja build. It's not a optimized min-max build. It's focused around a single purpose. So if you haven't checked that out yet, go ahead and check out the link in the description. And I'll have one available for you to click on the annotation on the screen as well. Just like my Ash build, this Frost build is not going to be a min-max general optimization build, because there's lots of those on the internet, and when you're optimizing for highest performance, people tend to use the same gear, use the same mods, have the same build, so I don't feel the need to make another one of the same thing that you can find online. So today we're going to focus on one thing specifically. Actually, we're going to make a Frost Turret build, I want to call it, and it's going to be focused around the use of the Ogris and the use of obviously Snow Globe, because it is definitely Frost's best ability. Not a lot of people will argue with that. Generally speaking, most people will agree that Snow Globe is his best ability, so we're going to optimize that, and we're going to optimize the Ogris as well, because I feel Frost is a very good candidate for the Ogris. So yeah, basically the build is focused around kind of defending the point of interest. So this is going to be a build focused around like defense or mobile defense or anything that has to do with protecting, again, a point of interest. And of course, Frost is exceptionally good for those kind of plays. And we're going to focus around using the Ogris in this as well, because if you're going to just stay in one place, you're going to want to have a lot of firepower with minimal amounts of moving around. I feel the Ogris is very, very good for this, for that purpose. And not to mention, it's I find Frost to be a very good candidate to use the weapon as well. I might have already mentioned that. I don't remember. But there you go. I mentioned it again if I did. Anyways, let's just get right into it. So we're going to look at Frost's build first. So the Ogris has a high potential of killing yourself. That's the problem, okay? That's why I don't generally like using the Ogris for more squishier characters, because they just tend to fall on their ass all the time. And Frost has a very good base shield and HP count, so I find him to be a very good candidate for the Ogris. So we're going to use the Physique Aura mod, just to increase our health as much as possible, as well as increasing our friendly's health as well, and that's not going to hurt. We're also going to use Vigor to add more health and more shield capacity. We're really looking more for health over shield capacity, but we'll take it if we can get it as well. We're also going to use Snow Globe, of course, since this is a kind of a turret build where you're staying in one area, defending the area. We're going to want to have something to protect us from gunfire, as well as something to protect our friendlies and our point of interest from gunfire. And of course, Snow Globe is exceptional for that task. Now we're also going to use Redirection, because we have the mod space for it, and also more defense the better, more shields the better. But we're really looking for HP, but why not? We're also going to use Vitality, because again we're going to be health oriented, because again the Ogris is going to damage ourselves every now and then. So having a large HP pool is definitely going to help prevent us from falling on our asses too much. So we're also going to use Fortitude. The resist knockdown is pretty good, but we have it in there mostly for the shield recharge. Because again, we're probably going to be taking some splash damage from our Ogris. When we do, we're going to want to recharge our shields as fast as possible, just in case of enemy fire, just in case of another Ogris, splash damage that might happen. We're also going to use Fast Deflection for the same reason, more shield recharge. We're going to use Stretch. Now we're only going to use a level 3 stretch. And the reason being is because we don't want to have too large of a snow globe. Having too large of a snow globe just means more room for enemies to get in. And when enemies are inside your snow globe, it loses a lot of its potency, and it kind of defeats the whole purpose of having a snow globe, because you really want it up for the gunfire over the slowing down the mobs more than anything else. And I tried it with 2. I do like it with 2. I find is a good size for protecting the area and myself. However, when your teammates start jumping into snow globe, it gets a little bit cramped, so I decided to put it up 1 level to 3. I wouldn't go over 3 though, because past that I feel it gets to be too large. Too many mobs get into your globe way too fast, so we're going to keep it at 3. And we're going to use rush because every now and then we will have to get from point A to point B, and when that does happen, we're going to want to get back to our point of interest as fast as possible. So rush is going to be good for that. We're not going to worry too much about stamina regeneration because they're only going to be short sprints, okay? So rush is better for short sprinting over long-term sprinting, which is, stamina regeneration would be good for that. And then we're going to use equilibrium because, again, we're going to be very health focused. So the nice thing about equilibrium is it allows you to transfer your energy pickups into health pickups as well, and vice versa. And when you're not playing with a Necros or an Oberon or a Trinity, health orbs become a little bit difficult to gain. So regenerating your health can become an issue, and with the Ogris and you taking splash damage, that can be an issue. So equilibrium is going to help us regenerate our health, and this is actually going to be a very, very important mod to this build. And we're going to use freeze. Now freeze is a moderately useful ability on its own. It's not overly useful, I find, but it does come in use, especially at high levels. It does help stop the things like ancients and stuff like that, one-shotting your point of interest. It gives you that little tiny bit of space and time in between before that happens if you're fast enough to catch it. That's all good and dandy, but we're really using it because it's a low-costing ability that we can spam. And there's a reason why we're going to want to spam our ability. The reason being is because if we have full energy, we can't pick up energy orbs, and we need health, and there's no energy or there's no health orbs around. We're going to want to pick up energy orbs as a substitute to gain health with. So we don't want to spam snow globe because that'll cause too many snow globes around the map, and if you fire like from the outside of the snow globe, you're not going to hit the mobs that are inside the snow globe. So you don't want to spam snow globe. You can spam freeze, however. So if you're low on energy, or you have full energy, you're low on health, you can spam freeze a few times to bring your energy bar down, and then you can pick up energy orbs, and you can use those to refill your health. Okay? And energy orbs come a dime a dozen. They're not hard to find, so that's why I feel they're a very good substitute for health orbs when you need them. And again, that's why we're going to use freeze. Just as something to spam, just as something to empty our energy pool with. Okay, so that's generally the Frost build that I'm going to use. Now, if you have corrupted mods, feel free to put those in. I don't have those yet because like I said in the past, I've had laptop issues, so it's hard for me to play the game right now. I will gain it eventually, but this is what I'm going with, and that's fine because a lot of people don't have corrupted mods anyways. Anyways, let's take a look at our Ogris. We're going to use, generally pretty basic Ogris build, I think. We're going to use Serration for more damage, of course. We're going to use Speed Trigger because a higher firing rate means a faster English. Faster firing rate means we can have a faster charge time as well, since Ogris is a charge weapon. Okay, So faster firing rate, faster firing, and charge time. So it's all good stuff there. We're also going to use Shred because, again, more fire rate is better for the Ogris because it is a charge weapon. So we can charge it faster, shoot more things, kill more things, all good stuff. The punch through is also, you know, a nice little bonus. We're also going to use fast hands for faster reload, so we can decrease our cooldown, I guess you can say, whenever we have to reload. So we're going to reduce that as much as possible. We're going to use split damage for more damage, of course. These are our element mods. We're going to create magnetic with electricity and ice. Now, if you're facing against other factions that are weak to other elements, feel free to put in your own elements and replace these. These are pretty interchangeable with fire, with whatever you want, really. Right now, I'm using magnetic because I'm planning to go up against Corpus. And then we have ammo drum. Same reasoning as fast hand. We're going to reduce our reload time as much as possible, so we shoot as much as possible as quickly as possible to do as much damage as possible. So that's our Ogris build. But honestly, you know, the Ogris by default is already very, very powerful. So feel free to build it any way you choose, any way you prefer. This is just how I built it. This might not be necessarily optimal, I guess, but it's just the way I like it, really. As far as sidearms and melee goes, it doesn't really matter. Just choose the sidearm melee that's best suited against the faction that you're going to face. So, yeah. We're going to be focused mostly around the Ogre, so I'm not going to get too far into the sidearms or melee. These are just what I have on them, so that's why I'm going to take them into combat. Alright, let's go into our usual Zini test. Oh, it's actually under Grenier control today. You know what? I'm pretty lazy. I'm not going to switch things out. And we're going to go in with the party, so it doesn't really matter. We're only going to play the first couple of rounds anyways. But generally speaking, if you're going to face against Grenier, you're going to want to switch out your sidearms and your melee to better suit the faction. And probably switch out your element as well to, again, better suit your faction. But again, since we're just doing a test, it doesn't really matter. You'll get the gist of it anyways. Alright, I'm actually hoping to have someone join me because this is more of a team build than a solo build. But you know, we'll do what we can. We'll do what we can and see what we can do. So the general idea of this build is to protect your point of interest and do massive amounts of damage with the Ogris. It's a pretty simple idea, really. It's really a no-frills kind of build. You can probably optimize Frost and the Ogris a little bit better if you want to min-max and all that stuff. But yeah, you know, as far as just kind of focusing on the Ogris and protecting the point of interest, I feel this is you know, a viable build. So we're going to throw up our snow globe. We're going to want a little bit of height, so that way we get more area surface for the explosion for the Ogris. Okay, and of course, the further away you are from the mobs, the less damage you'll take from your Ogris itself. Now, I also don't have any time extensions for Snow Globe because this build is focused more around just staying in one area. So you'll be able to refresh your Snow Globe whenever it goes down, kind of thing. Plus, you kind of want to use up some energy whenever you can. Again, just to use our equilibrium to regenerate our health. So as you can see, Snow Globe is definitely working its magic. Somebody has joined us, that's good. And as you can see, you're going to want to stay in, you know, you want to get as much surface area as possible. A little trick is you can actually charge. Okay, well, there's no enemies right now, but you can charge, and when you see an enemy, I'll show you when they come in, actually. It'll be a better example. It looks like we got another Frost there, actually. Okay, here we go. So that guy's all the way over there. We can actually get a little bit more height, and we do a little jump, just like that. And you'll get more of a splash damage that way. So I'll show you a little example of kind of getting from one area to another. And when you're a little bit more closer to combat, you're going to want to do like a little jump, get a little tiny bit more distance away from your end target, because you don't want that over splash damage, okay? You really don't. It's going to hurt you a lot. And when you jump, when you're facing a mob that's close to you or even at medium range, you're going to want to do that little tiny bit of a jump, because that will give you a little bit more space to work with, making it, you know, making it so you don't hurt yourself as much. So I'll give you an example of that right now. So this guy's pretty close to me, and I'm going to shoot the Ogris. If I didn't jump, that would have killed me, and my health is pretty low right now. As you can see with our shield regen mods on, our shields did regen very, very quickly. And that's generally why we like to use those mods. So we're going to look for some energy orbs so we can refill our health, because we are dangerously low right now. Usually I'd just be staying on the pod, but because I'm doing this video, I want to show you an example of different situations and tactics and all that stuff. So I'm sure you understand. But generally speaking, if you do decide to use this build, you are going to want to stay as close to the point of interest as possible, because you are pretty much playing the protector. You're playing the tower, if you will. So as you can see, we're full on energy, so we can't actually pick up that orb. So we're going to spam freeze just at one time, and there you go. We were able to pick it up, therefore gaining the health because of equilibrium. So this is why I love the Ogres. It has huge splash damage. Just loves the splash damage, and it does just generally a whole bunch of damage against pretty much every faction. Excuse me. Now, as you can see, our health is actually, we are gaining our health back because we're picking up the energy orbs. Full on energy, we'll spam freeze a little bit. There we go. So we're out of danger zone in the HP department. And that's mainly because of equilibrium and because we have freeze to spam. So it's very important you have those two. They synergize very, very well in this build. So again, there we go, spam a little freeze, pick that up, get some health. Now if you're going to use this build in a more, you know, running kind of mission, like from point A to point B sort of thing, oh, somebody's down. You're going to actually damage yourself a lot more than what I'm doing now, because, okay, someone's picking it up, that's good. Because I can just stay in one area, I can keep my distance from the mobs, and that's generally what you're going to want to do. The equilibrium that I've described is nice, but generally speaking, you're going to want to avoid taking damage at all. It's just a really, really good backup to have, you know. Now you can definitely use a similar kind of build for this, like Rhino or any other Warframe that has high base defensive stats. Alright, we'll go for one more battle, why not? And that's because, well, basically, you're not going to really want to use the Ogris with any squishy characters. I mean, you can. I've seen people successfully do it. But you're kind of putting yourself in a bad spot when you do have to do close quarter combat. Of course, you can just switch to your sidearm, but this whole build's about not switching to your sidearm. It's about just using the Ogris. Don't ask me why. Actually, you can ask me why if you want. I just like it that way, I guess. Like I said, it's not really made for optimization, at least this build. It's made mostly for one specific task, and that's to use the Ogris. And use it effectively from all distances, close, medium, and far. Again, if you're going to use it close or medium, you are going to want to do that little bunny hop and shoot from the height of your jump, just to avoid as much of the splash damage as possible, as you are definitely going to pick some of it up. There we go, we just picked up all our health back, or most of our health back, because of equilibrium. Equilibrium is brilliant. I really like the mod. especially for builds like this, where you're expecting to take damage. Equilibrium is actually a really good substitute for defensive mods. If you don't want to fill up your mod space with defensive mods, you can actually build around it, not use health plus or shield plus mods, focus on equilibrium, and use health or energy orbs as health replenishers. During high-end play, that will be a little bit more difficult as you're going to start getting single-shotted. But as far as low to medium end or low to medium level mobs, it's not going to be too much of an issue. Y'all should probably mention that just to be honest with you guys. But honestly, if you're going to do high-end gameplay, like really high-level mobs, you're trying to get to like level 50 or level 100 or level 200 on defense, or you're doing T3 defense or something like that, you're probably going to want to use an optimized build and not a you know, a task-specific build. Most of my builds I'm showing you guys, again, are just for fun, or you know, they're suited for one style of gameplay. I'm doing it for people who might like that style of gameplay. And again, I'm not really doing optimized builds because there are a dime a dozen. There are piles and piles of them on the internet. I don't feel the need to add on to the pile. I just want to show you guys something maybe a little bit more creative. And to be honest, this build isn't all that creative. It's not quite as creative as my Ash Stunlock build. But, you know, it's still a little tiny bit different from what I've seen out there. So I want to share with you guys. So as you can see, I'm just hanging around the pod, shooting things from a distance, offering support fire to my friendlies, and protecting the pod. Oh, out of energy. So you're not going to want to empty your energy too much because you're still going to throw up that snow globe whenever possible. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Whoops-a-doodle. Let's pick up some more energy / health. Good old equilibrium. Alright, so one more round and we'll get out of here. But let me know what you guys think of the build. It's definitely what I usually play with when I'm playing Frost, generally speaking. Now he does have other abilities that we haven't equipped it, of course. But I feel Snow Globe is really his main ability. His other abilities are a little mediocre in my opinion. We'll get into that when we actually do a beginner's guide on Frost, so there's that. And I will be doing a guide on him, of course. I will be covering all the Warframes eventually. All I need is a little bit of time, and that's about it, really. There we go, see? You get that little bit of height, you will avoid a lot of that splash damage. You stay on the ground, you're going to absorb a lot more splash damage.
There's a heavy unit approaching.
And even with this build, even with the splash damage, you will be able to survive a lot of it because of the way it's set up. And with equilibrium, you should be able to replenish your health from the splash damage. So basically, this whole build is built around the side effect or the negative effect of the Ogris, because there are negative effects to the Ogris, namely, you know, the splash damage that can potentially kill you. It's very, very dangerous to use this weapon in close to medium range, and this build is built specifically around that weakness. Also, another tip, if you're outside the snow globe, be very careful when shooting your Ogris, because you shoot the outside wall inwards to the snow globe, it will explode on the outside wall, therefore causing splash damage maybe closer to you than expected, and that can become very dangerous. As you can see, I have yet to use my sidearm. I think I used melee a couple times, and that's about it. Another reason why I haven't used time extension mods for the snow globe is another excuse to spam my abilities, so we can use up energy and therefore absorbing more energy orbs as health. The Ogris is actually surprisingly accurate. You can snipe with this thing, which is actually pretty neat. And you don't have to be too accurate, you can just kind of splash around the area, although I'm doing a terrible example of doing it. There we go. Now he's dead. Alright, we'll get out of here now. I think you guys get the idea. So I hope you guys found this informative or entertaining, I should say. If you did, please send me some love. Share, like, fave, comments, all that stuff. Most importantly, if you haven't already, please subscribe. Feed me my vegetables, help me grow, and I'll bring you more videos like this. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. All the shout out.